One of the best new things in the fighting game community is definitely FGCNN. Did you agree with that?
I mean, I did before.
Before they put
me on
you.
Yeah, they put me on blast. So
I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Whoever runs that, it's not me. People have asked me more than a few times if it's me. It's not. Serious.
Dude, everybody's been accused of it. I think even like Super FX has been accused of writing it.
Of course he's been accused of writing it. Yeah, I would put everybody in that house and in that like group
Dude, Sanchez,
as like a major people that I would expect.
The only reason why I wouldn't have pictured Sanchez writing FGCN because it takes effort to actually put posts up, so you know he wouldn't actually do that.
Dang, when's the Alex video coming out, buddy?
Hey, there's already videos of me like talking smack, yelling at him on YouTube, dude. Everyone knows, dude.
I'm just wondering when he's gonna put the stun gun video out.
Dude, does he have one?
Oh yeah, for 10 years.
Oh,
I think maybe actually 10 years at this point. Anyways.
And let's do Hanzo, like
Hanzo
has been like, no, it's not me.
Right,
dude,
but that's somebody else I might expect. So I don't know who it is. It could be somebody that none of us is suspecting or that I don't even know. But whoever it is, good job. It is hilarious. And I really like the fact that they rarely pull punches. Like whoever, like Scoop Newsman will. That's how you have to pronounce it. Scoop Newsman will take any opportunity to run it into anybody involved, even if it's not entirely warranted. Right. Which is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I was just really the main thing that made me sad. I think honestly was the lifetime 0-2 player comment about me.
Okay, so if you didn't know, there was an article that FGCNN wrote involving James. That's why we're bringing it up.
Yeah. And that one made me really sad. Just
lifetime 0-2.
Because that's the thing is like, yes, my reputation right now is that I suck at everything.
I know.
And it's so frustrating because
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Right? Because that's the thing is I used to be like really good at fighting games, and you know the interesting thing about it is it's like just reading that is like fucking Ultra comes out, dude. I'm going in on Ultra, but we'll see.
I just did this.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know if I have time. Like I always say that about every fighting game, and I just never have the time for it. So, but very very sad. So yeah. But, I mean, one of the things I did want to address that they mentioned, you know, because the whole thing spurred on because CD Jr. made a comment on Twitter where he said, I don't play for payouts, I play for passion. That's why I want to go to MLG instead of EVO, which made no sense to me.
That doesn't make any sense to me either.
And that's when I got into it, right? And then I go crazy on Twitter all the time.
You will hop into like the most ill-advised Twitter situation.
Well, the funny thing is, like, I've seen other comments from CD Jr. and from other people, and I'm just like, nope, staying out of that. Soon as he made that one comment, that's what got me in there. And then that was it at that point.
Then you were stuck.
Yeah, then it was Blow Up Tuesday on a Thursday, pretty much. But I mean, one of the things that I mentioned in there is the reason why I'm worried about going the esports route, having someone fund us, is because I would rather build up our community ourselves, and that I'm worried that if someone like MLG took over, they don't need Spooky, they don't need Boss Logic to do artwork, they don't need Moosey to do trailers, they wouldn't need I Play Winner, they wouldn't need so basically all of the people who do a lot of the work in the fighting game community basically will have done all this work to help build it up and then get nothing out of it, right? My whole goal is to make sure that the people who benefit from the fighting game community going big is the fighting game community.
Okay.
And one of the things the article pointed out was that they have hired people in the past. MLG has hired fighting game players in the past and such, right? And, you know, I mean, it's just always just been like role of like commentators or like when they had Arturo Sanchez there, for example, right? Like I had conversations with him. He's like, I'm trying to push for this. I'm trying to push for this. And in the end, nothing changed, right? So we couldn't even get rid of the continuation rule.
Yeah, they seem married to that. I don't understand.
So it's just one of those things that I was just like, you know, that's the whole point is that they hire these people, but I don't know if we really get to make a difference in that situation. And in fact, just recently on Facebook, Arturo had this gigantic Facebook post where he's just basically, it was brought on from the same topic, which was AGE dropping players and stuff like that, right? Which is funny because people keep bringing that up to the fighting game community, like, oh, is this a sign the fighting game community is falling apart? And did they just forget that, like, the week before was another article about, like, a League of Legends team who's not paying their players?
Oh, sure. It happens
and
to
then that
everybody.
team... Yeah, it happens all over the place, right? But, you know, it's just, like, Arturo wrote about a lot of these things. Like, one of the key ones is he says sustainability is the key, right? So I'll just read it. He says, I can't stress this enough. It's time to stop waiting for a golden goose that will most likely never come, and create it ourselves through hard work, perseverance, staying in the black. Is what he said, right? This is why I personally try to keep my expenses lean, save a bunch, only invest in equipment that makes sense. Of course you want to spend money to make money, but this comes with sustainability. This is the guy who ended up at MLG and no longer is with them, and he's talking about sustainability and not waiting for a golden goose.
Okay.
So I think that's a pretty good indication, in my opinion. You know, if I can do an op-ed here piece,
you
know,
can,
like,
because it's your show.
Exactly. But that, in my opinion, from the guy who was hired and told me, straight to me, that I'm going to try to make a difference in MLG, to come out of that and have that comment, that is why I cannot take what that article said and said, oh, they've hired fighting game community people in the past. Dude, it's not the same thing. They're not hiring us to run everything. You know what I mean? They're not hiring us to be in charge of everything.
Okay.
They're not hiring us to create the content. They're just hiring us so that there's somebody there who can seem like they're from the community involved.
You think it's a PR move, is what you're saying?
Yeah, okay. Exactly. So that's my opinion. So
all right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, but that's my say on that. So.
I actually like some of what MLG has been doing more nowadays.
Yeah,
this MLG.TV thing. Have we even talked about that?
I don't think so. No.
That seems weird. We should have talked about that by now.
Right. I mean.
But anyway, I like the MLG TV thing.
Okay. No. Go ahead. I'll add on towards the end.
Okay, I like that because it's a different kind of model for streaming.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fancier version.
Right.
Only premier things get on there. There's a lot more funding. And on the other hand, you have Twitch, which is open to everybody.
Right.
So you have these two sides that I think make a lot of sense. And I like that. I'm happy to see that somebody else is doing it. And if it's MLG, that's great. I don't really care who it is.
Right,
I want to see that competition. I like the idea of having the premiere streams. So I think that that's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the one thing that I just want to make sure is clear is that because I'm always talking about MLG from an FGC standpoint, it always just sounds like I'm like, you know, I hope MLG, like, their office building burns down or whatever like that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, like, the one thing that I would like MLG to do is to let the FGC do its thing, right?
Okay.
And so, in counter to that, I'm okay with letting MLG do whatever. Like, if they can figure out a way to make it successful, if they can do all this cool stuff, MLG TV, you know, creating these cool events, bringing awareness of competitive gaming into the mainstream mind, like, that's like a really amazing thing, right? Sure. I'm totally down for it. Like, I'm on their side. I want competitive video gaming to become a big thing, right? I just don't think that there's a reason for FGC to mingle with them. That's just all it is. And it's just like the speedrunning community had the exact same thing happen after AGDQ. I think it was Machinima. It was like they basically said, "Oh, we're gonna put on our own speedrunning event," you know. And
did they really?
Yeah, and the entire speedrunning community was like, "Stay the hell away from us! Like, leave us alone! Don't try to steal our thunder. We are our own community. We are our own identity. Do not."
Sweet.
And that's all it is. It's like, it's the same feeling that I have about FGC as that the speedrunning community has for themselves. They've been doing all this work. They've been putting all this work. And they just want to be the ones to build it up. You know what I mean? And that's just all it comes down to. So
that makes total sense to me.
So, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with mingling with MLG. Yeah. I'm fine with there being both the FGC side of things and also the big league side of things. Right. That's cool. I don't really think that getting involved with them will be some kind of death knell in any way for the FGC. Okay. I certainly don't want like all the grassroots stuff to disappear.
Right.
Okay, that's the prime thing for me, and I don't think it will. So.
Right. Yeah. All right. I mean, there was one more thing I wanted to mention, and I completely forgot what it was now. You said something that triggered something in my brain. Oh well, whatever. Okay. The moment has passed. So. Okay.
All right. Do you have anything else to talk about? I don't know what the deal is the last couple of days, but we have not been able to fill our time.
Dude, we have not been able to ramble.
I know.
We're getting too efficient at what we're doing. We're getting to the point faster now. So that's I guess that's good stuff, right? So, there was a few things I wanted to talk about.
Yeah?
Oh, gosh, I can't remember. Let me see if I can see something that sparks my brain.
Well, let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll talk about whatever we think about talking about in a bit.
All right, peace.
Welcome back to the show. So, James, what's on your mind as far as the end of this thing goes?
I do remember one thing that I did want to talk about a little bit, and apparently the topic of rage quits has become a big issue for Killer Instinct in particular. I see Filipino Champ tweeting about it all the time, and he's like actually counting how many matches he gets to play compared to rage quits.
What?
And it always seems like it's around like 40% rage quits. And everybody I talk to just says they've got to fix this rage quit problem. It's like really, really terrible right now.
That's a crazy percentage.
Yeah, and apparently, like, when you rage quit, it's kind of like how Street Fighter was early on, that you both receive losses. So, like, if you're about to lose, you might as well rage quit, because then...
You might as well just be addicted. Like, yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly, sure. Right. And so... It's really cool. The Killer Instinct Twitter was actually asking people for like ideas on how to fight rage quits.
Oh, okay. So they view it as an issue.
Oh yeah, they know.
They want to solve it. Okay. Well, that's
aware.
good. That's good.
And I got into conversations with people, and there's actually some really cool ideas, right? I mean, the standard one is count how many rage quits there are, right?
Okay.
And as you keep going, like every day, your rage quit count drops by 1, just in case you had accidental disconnects or whatever.
Okay.
Because a lot of people don't realize is that the danger really comes down to whether it's a legitimate disconnect or a rage quit. There's really no way to tell, right?
Of course.
Because if you just unplug your network cable, I mean, it could have fell off the shelf or whatever, right? It's the same situation. So there's really no way to discern. So if you just count how many disconnects they have and drop them like once a day, then you'll just avoid players with high disconnect rates, right? But interestingly enough, I can't remember who I was. It was one of the guys on Twitter that I was talking to who suggested something to me that I think might actually be the difference. Okay. Which might actually make the difference, which is... So one of the great things about League of Legends is that you're always earning points, you're always gaining riot points, you're always getting levels and stuff like that, right? What one of the things I think that needs to happen with fighting games is that they need to develop some sort of like reward system. Like as you get more points, you get access to different, banners or different icons or whatever like that. But even when you lose, you gain points. And not only that, but maybe they could even calculate how much damage you've done to the opponent. So let's just say you had 3 super close rounds. The winner gets 1,000 points, and it's like, well, you did really good that fight. I'll give you 500 points.
Okay.
Right?
And that's a reason to not rage quit, because you'll miss out on those points.
You'll actually get those points, right? And you'll level up and you'll keep going. Because the problem right now is you're not losing anything.
Yeah, no, you're gaining. You're gaining something.
Yeah, exactly.
You're gaining the other person's enmity.
You're getting the salt. Getting boatloads of salt. So, I don't know, I think that's a really cool thing. Now the question really comes down to is what kind of stuff can you give out?
Maybe this is a good game to try that stuff in because it's already using the free-to-play model.
Right. And it has all like the customizable costume parts.
Stuff, yeah.
Dude, I think it was last week, 2 weeks ago, I was doing commentary for Killer Instinct at the Run Back. Jago has a Voltron costume. It was like the sickest thing. Like he literally had tigers on his hands and his feet. And
it's actual Voltron?
They were colored like the Voltron, and his sword changed to like a Voltron-looking sword.
How did they even get the rights for that? That's awesome.
Dude, I don't know. Like it wasn't exact Voltron, but you could tell it was Voltron. One of those things.
What?
And supposedly it wasn't supposed to be unlocked yet, but it was unlocked through a glitch. But it was really cool.
I'm Googling this right now.
Oh, man.
That sounds too cool.
Yeah, it's actually kind of neat. So, if you can just create a lot of really cool things like that for people to win online, because right now you get a lot of those prizes by playing trial modes and whatever like that, but they need to make it so that you win those things through online only, and then make it so that you gain even when you lose. Yeah, see, here we go, dude. Like,
wow, they're okay. I see. So it's not actual Voltron, but it's it's like a approximation of Voltron. Here, let me put this video in the chat.
Yeah. So
yeah, we're talking about Jaco.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cute.
Here, let me see if I can actually get it onto a web page or something like that. So, but I don't know. Anyway. I just think that's rage quit is something because dude, like the online experience of fighting games is pretty miserable for a large portion of time, right? And I just feel like it's just something that needs to be fixed.
Well, it's too bad because it's a really good online play otherwise, right? For Killer Instinct, everything I've heard is that the connections are great.
Yeah, exactly.
So for that side of it to not be great, it's too bad. I'm glad that they're looking at it though. That's in line with their development in general. I think they do a great job of paying attention to the community and seeing what the issues people have are and addressing that.
Dude, how cool is it? I mean, honestly, that I'm sitting there tweeting a conversation with the Killer Instinct Twitter about how to solve rage quits. I mean, I just think that's really cool.
I totally agree, man. I think that's really interesting. Cool. So you're getting this video up there, huh?
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to get it up there so people can see it on the YouTubes as well. So let's see here. Where am I? So let me skip ahead a little bit here. So, come on, don your Voltron, dude.
Yeah, I don't think that James is saying that he wants there to be like gameplay changes, right? That's not what you're looking for.
No. Not like that.
Nobody's down with that.
No. Not like you don't get fireballs until you level.
Nobody's down with that.
No. I'm just talking about like cool bells and whistles.
Yeah.
You know, bells and whistles. Nothing core to the gameplay.
Totally.
I thought about that at one point, like have a specific online mission mode where you actually gain, like you start off with only normals and then it goes higher and stuff like that.
You don't have to pick that mode, but you can.
Right.
Exactly. Interesting. Okay.
Exactly.
That might not be too bad if it's as long as you can play online from the very start.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude. I mean.
Yeah, that's kind of nifty.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's kind of cool. So. But see, if you just kept making cool costumes like that and you would unlock them as you go, you know, I just think that's actually really kind of cool. So, yeah. I
hear you. All right. Okay. Well, that's what that guy looks like.
All right. Okay. Anyways. Alrighty. So, yep. Anything else you wanted to say for the next 7 minutes that we got?
I don't know. I don't really have that much to talk about.
Do you want to do another ask questions thing?
Why don't you ask us something?
We've only got like 7 minutes before the show that sucks starts, right?
Yeah,
so.
Please send us something and maybe we'll get to it. That's all I can give you.
Yep, so if you guys want to send us questions on Twitter.
If you send it to us right now, we'll get it between 30 and 60 seconds from now.
Oh, man.
Look out for that. Oh, yeah, so Spinal, he's going to have a dive kick, apparently.
That's crazy. Dude, I don't know about that, but we'll see. I mean, it depends, right? If it's... See, the thing about it is, dive kicks in Street Fighter games have always, in history, been very low to the... Like, you have to be high up in the air to do them.
Mm.
And Dalsum in ST was the first one that you could do at any height. And then Rufus just gained that.
Right.
Like, even the twins in Third Strike can only dive kick when they reach the height of their jump. But for some reason in 4, they can dive kick anywhere. So it really just depends on how they're going to implement the dive kick, you know, for Spinal. But he's coming out soon, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. But let's see. We have a couple of questions.
So Solid Centenaro says, dudes, Gutex did emphasize Gen after the Gen issue, but Tasteless didn't take the hint. Well, good job to Ryan, then.
Okay, good job. Yeah, good job. Good stuff, then.
Too bad that Tasteless didn't take the hint.
Yeah, I guess you should you'd kind of have to go, and then,
Just kidding.
But that would be a little awkward. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But then we were asked the question, do we like bubblegum?
I'm not really a big bubblegum guy.
I used to be when I was young, but not much these days. So what Street Fighter character would Obama play?
What Street Fighter character would Obama play? Oh my god. I can't answer that half-assedly. I would need to think about that question for half an hour and write something funny. That's the kind of question that I can't just half-ass. So I'm not gonna do that. But it's a good question. I like it.
Okay.
I like that question.
Okay. So Jesus.
Apparently, I look like Magus today. All right.
I guess it's just the glasses, huh? How many fans submitted high-res stream graphics are just sitting in my inbox? There was a few that were sent to me, but the graphic that I put up there is high-res. Like, it's 1080, like, tall, but it's just, for some reason, I guess when it gets processed, it just doesn't look properly or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what the secret is.
You got the whole tech and graphics side to yourself.
I am getting very, very close to buying a PC. So as soon as I get that, I'm going to switch over, probably use XSplit or OBS or whatever it is that's there, and then we can... Mondo is helping me do all this. So hopefully, if you guys watch Wednesday Night Fights or anything that Mondo does, his streams are immaculate looking, right? So hopefully he'll be able to guide me into having very close to immaculate looking streams.
We have a nice division of labor. Okay, so I handle like the business and law, and I do the uploads. And James takes care of the graphics and the streaming, the live streaming and the technical stuff. Yeah, so
okay.
Don't blame me.
What was your impressions of the State of the Union?
Oh, that's a good question, I guess. I mean, you know, you have to take a lot of it with a grain of salt, as always. He promised he would try some good things. I really like the idea about education and improving schools and improving internet in schools and all that stuff. It's great.
Of course.
Economic stuff I am mostly down with. I really didn't like the fact, but also wasn't at all surprised at the fact that he totally glossed over constitutional and privacy issues. Not a surprise at all, but I just wish that was something that he had to address more in the public eye. He didn't really.
Maybe he plays MODOK. It just tries to hit you with analyze cubes all day, right? To learn stuff out of you. Right?
Well, he's a smart guy. Like it's the fact that I know that he's a smart guy and a former constitutional law professor that makes that worse for me. Because if I thought he were some idiot like the previous guy we had, who was just taking whatever advice that came to him, like obviously there's a lot of blame there, but not as much as if you ran against these ideas, were a constitutional law professor, and know for a fact the law regarding these things, and you're a smart dude. Like, it's very, very frustrating.
Okay, well, here's a question from Midian Lock. You know, he is asking me. I know I like to play Guilty Gear and Blaze Blue. Would I rather have Xrd have the speed execution of old Guilty Gear or current Blaze Blue? It's kind of interesting because, like, I don't feel that they're hugely different. I mean, Blaze Blue obviously doesn't have the false Roman cancels and stuff like that. But, you know, I would like Guilty Gear to lower the execution. You know, as much of an execution fiend as I am, I would like to see larger windows for things, you know, a little bit simpler execution on stuff. Only because, like, I don't want to make it, like, super brain dead easy. Like, it doesn't need to go like Street Fighter 4, like, wiggle back and forth to do uppercut stuff. But the thing about it is when I asked people why they didn't play Guilty Gear, almost everybody answered execution. I'm scared of doing combos. And the combos are too hard, execution. Like, everybody said that. So it's definitely a concern for them. I hope that the game is a little bit more execution friendly. So
that sounds right to me.
And then Bipson Dollar Bill says that Tekken Tag 2 does give you points when you lose.
That's cool, man.
So that's really cool. So Tekken's already doing it. So, and I would imagine that Tekken has a lot less rage quitters than people on stream.
That'd be really interesting to find out.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. So, okay.
Who's taking Evo for USSF4 this year?
Dude, it's impossible to say because that game doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Right. But for USF4, it's still impossible to say because we don't know how the game's going to turn out balance-wise. I mean, it could just come out and jury is ridiculous, and then Yosan's gonna come over from Japan and be like, scrubs,
dude,
kill everybody.
What if Vega from the Super Arcade is the one that gets released, and it's like top 8 at Evo is like Chris King, Zeus, like Tatsu comes back.
Dude, that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, you it's just impossible to know.
On Broly Legs asks us if we're coming back to Texas Showdown. I will only come back if I get to see Broly Legs Lariat again, which. He actually said he was sad that we didn't... Well, he joked about it, that we forgot to mention that in our 2013 recap for Amazing Moments. And
Sorry, bud.
That was a pretty amazing moment.
That was a good one.
Yeah. So, bully legs, lariats is really awesome. So, yeah. Okay, well, Show That Sucks is going to be starting up.
Yeah, we finally made it towards the end. We stalled. 7 minutes gone, just like that.
Every time we try to like say, "Oh, we'll stop early," everyone gets mad. So we stretch it out.
Might as well just make it all the way. But as James said, the Show That Sucks should be starting up pretty shortly. That was a lot of S's and SH's. It was tough to say, but I made it through. And that's going to be at twitch.tv/iplaywinner. Again, just to reiterate, the hopeful stream and uploading schedule from now on. Monday, normal Monday shows. Tuesday, normal Tuesday shows. Wednesday, uploading of the Monday shows. Thursday, uploading of the Tuesday shows. And Friday, if we have a DHC, that's when we'll put it up.
Okay, sounds good. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in to the Tuesday show.
Twitch, that's youtube.com/UltraChenTV, because somebody asked me about it, whether we have a YouTube channel that we upload to.
Okay.
I don't know, it's like everywhere, but it's youtube.com/UltraChenTV. Yeah, it's right there. Yeah,
right there. YouTube.com/UltraChenTV.
Yeah, and maybe you can't read that because it's not high def, but that's what it says.
Really, David?
All right, see ya.
All right, peace.